Hello everyone, my name is Darcy Johns and I'm the Youth Services Librarian at the Cole Harbour Public Library. And today we are going to be making the ultimate flaky buttermilk biscuit. And I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and to give that a good stir, and we will add 2 tablespoons of sugar, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and a half a teaspoon of salt. I will be using salted butter, so I just put a half a teaspoon of salt. If you choose to use unsalted butter, then you'll need about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And half a teaspoon of baking soda, just for a little bit of additional lift. I'm just going to whisk the dry ingredients together. That looks good. There we go. And then we'll turn to our fat. Now today we're using butter. And it's 1 cup of frozen butter, and I've taken the butter and I've frozen it for half an hour. Then I have grated it on the large hole of a grater. And that way it gives us uniform pieces of butter. This recipe you really do need butter versus shortening. Shortening doesn't contain water, and butter does. So you really need the water in the butter, which when it's heated in the oven, it releases as steam, and it will help the biscuits to rise. Actually, I'm going to get my hands in here. I'm going to coat, so I'm not mixing it in as much as just coating all of the pieces of butter with the flour mixture. So I'm not working it in, just coating the pieces. Now we add our liquid, and it's going to be 1.5 cups of chilled buttermilk. So we'll just add that in. And I'm just going to mix that together. Probably it won't come together as much as you might expect, but we are going to be producing those flaky layers by rolling the dough 5 times, which is unusual for a biscuit recipe. So now I'm going to turn this out. Now I'm going to take this and pat it into a 7-inch square. And to help me do that, I have a bench scraper. You can use a large spatula, anything that's sort of long and kind of flat. And roll this into a 9x12 rectangle, and we'll do that 5 times. And we'll fold it into like a business letter kind of formation. And to help us remember how many times we've rolled, we just put a line of flour off to the side, and we'll just make a notch for every time we complete a rolling. Okay. I'm just going to try to roll it nice and evenly. Let's see. And that is, so it needs to be a bit longer and wider. 9. That's good, probably good for 1. So we take it and we fold it over like a third, like a business letter. And then we're going to take it and turn it, so when we roll it, the short end will always be towards you. And that is 1 roll. And we do that 5 times. I'll do a second roll here. This will be a bit wider. I'll fold that one over, and we'll fold that over again. And that is the second roll. Here we are, we have finished the 5 rolling and folding, and we are now ready to roll this into an 8.5-inch square, and then we will put it in the fridge for half an hour to chill. We want to keep it very, very chilled. So that's, I'll just roll it a bit. All right. And you can see that the pieces of butter now are nice and flat and long. So that's going to give us a lot of nice flaky layers. When it hits the heat of the oven, the water in the butter will melt, or rather turn to steam, and it'll help rise, and it should be really golden and really nice and flaky. Just going to measure this. Where are we now? Not quite. So 8.5 inch, because we will cut off about 1/4 of an inch around each edge. And if we don't do that, actually, it won't rise as well. So we do need to cut off a bit of the edge. Just trying to get that just to our 8.5 inches. And this will make 9 large biscuits. You can certainly cut them smaller and adjust the baking times, but it'll make 9 gorgeous biscuits. Just going to push that in a bit, and then I think we're good. And I'm going to take this and transfer it to a parchment-lined baking sheet, covered with saran wrap, and let that chill for 30 minutes in the fridge. There we go. And here we have the dough, which has been chilled for half an hour. And we now need to cut off the edges just 1/4 of an inch, and that will help. It'll help release the layers, and they'll rise nicely. So we'll take a nice sharp knife and flour it, and just trim off 1/4 of an inch off of each side. And this is just a nice floured board that I'm using. Now finish this end. These edges, though, you can actually just take them and you can make some rosettes. Just take 2 pieces, push them together, and then you can just roll them up to like a snail shape. And you can brush them with butter, sugar, cinnamon. You can bake them at the same time as your biscuits. So I'll put those over there. And the biscuits themselves we will cut into 9 pieces. Whoops, it's not quite cut here. And you can see the layers there, so they will puff and rise nicely. I'm going to take these and put these on a parchment-lined baking sheet. And this is an egg wash, so 1 egg and a few drops of lemon juice will make a really nice glossy brown top. So they'll look really lovely and golden when they're baked. And we'll put those in a 400-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. And we'll rotate halfway through. And also they'll be on the upper third of the oven rack. All right, I think they are ready. Let's have a look. Here we are. Okay, nice and golden and brown. So there we are. So beautiful, flaky biscuits. And ideally you would let them sit for a good 15 minutes so that they can sort of settle a bit. Maybe we'll just open one up now so you can see the steam is escaping, but there's lots of layers. And so they're great, you know, nice and warm with preserves or jam. And so these are flaky buttermilk biscuits. I hope you enjoy. And for more recipes and activities, join us at the Halifax Public Library's Human Library. Thanks very much.